Oh, we're so back. And by that I mean we're back. And so I don't know if my audio is good, so we'll see, I guess. Something got messed up with like the size of my screen. So I have to resize it again. Hi, Matt. Okay, I think it's resized to be the good size. Oh, wow. So, you did tell me to look at the not look at the extract screen, but there is always like the little spoiler over on here of what's happening. So I've just like I've been trying to avert my eyes. I am like sort of like taking my glasses off and raising my eyebrows at that E.G.O extraction event because it fell bullets in there. I really want to do some team killing. And I just took some brownies out of the oven. So I got like a brownie. What did I just pick up? Oh. There we go. Fixed. Yeah, I've been avoiding. But this one, I did do a one pull from it, because that's how much I got, and I got both of these in one 10 pull. Not the one I wanted. It was a little bit unfortunate. Is this one really good? What's up with you? Maybe I should put him on the team then. I mean, if we already have him, there's nothing special about Spice Bush. Hold on. Well, I assume since you said he's the best in the game. What am I doing? Right. Let's see. I need 20 more. I need 20 more thread. $20 more. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna do my dailies while I wait for everyone to filter in. Oh, did I just enter with my charge team?
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까. 불길 속으로.
So I didn't know he was really good. I think I've seen him before.
일단 정신 못 차리는 놈 대가리부터 뭉개.
Hold on, where's this going? Okay, that guy. If that guy dies, then that's a lot of coffin. Oh, thank you, Sinclair. Oh, he hit 2 stagger thresholds in a single hit. Good work, Heathcliff. Yeah, I think an issue is I don't have the XP tickets I need to actually level up. Okay, so Heathcliff is already at 9 coffin, so that's good. Mr. Electric, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled! Oh, it's gonna be a reference. That's fun. I was talking with Matt at one point, and I was like, they need to they need to release more friendly fire IDs, and he was like, that's a hot take, and I'm like, oh, it shouldn't be. Let's see that. Well, you've got to be hallucinating or something. A monster? Me? It's less likely than you would think. Oh, Jesus Christ. He flipped heads on that, and he still did half its health. It's fine. Heathcliff is at 10 coffin. There's literally no way we can lose. What do you mean friendly fire is the last thing they want? They just released Fell Bullet Yi Sang.
끝장냈어. 이제 더는 폭풍 소리에 죄를 떨 필요도, 개소리를 꿈을 꾸고 슬픔에 빠질 필요도 없지.
Oh, Brazen Bull, this is gonna fucking suck.
늦겠다. 뛰자.
Why a charge rebalance?
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈.
I don't have Magic Bullet Otis. Remember, I can't get Magic Bullet Otis. I can't thread spin. Well, I can't thread spin it right now. I do have enough, don't I? Or is it like available now? I love Brazen Bull.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
Oh yeah, we got all heads. That's good, right?
달릴 시간이다.
파이팅이다. 불길 속으로.
Go, my Heathcliff. I love you, Heathcliff. We're still on the street. But I like how everyone's sepia toned, like we're in an old, like, detective noir film. Oh, goodbye, Yisang. I really like the idea that all of Dante's inner monologue is in like the it's me, the detective voice.
대가리 딱 떼고.
Yes, that's not what I'm talking about, but sure, boss. Oh yeah, we love flipping heads with Heathcliff Sinclair. I love getting coin flips. Hi, Clever.
길 좀 막지 마.
I'm gonna finish this and then we can start. I was waiting for you to show up. I tweeted about it on Blue Sky. I had to drive home. Yeah, I tweeted about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry either way. But if I'm like not showing up, I might have, you just like, I think it's linked in my Twitch about me, my Blue Sky. So just click on that and see if I've tweeted about anything.
전투에 임하겠습니다. 길에서 비켜.
Because I don't think you need to log in order to see it. Oh, nice. Because how do I cancel a stream otherwise? How do I move a stream?
죄를 떨 필요도, 개소리를 꿈을 꾸고 슬픔에 빠질 필요도 없지. 전뭐
Go off, Heathcliff.
끝내버린.
잠아.
What do you need stone bricks for? Oh, just decorating? Whenever I'm playing a game like that, I never decorate.
안개 낀 거리에서 일어나는 미스터리 실종 사건이라.
A mysterious case of missing persons on a street shrouded by thick, heavy fog? Is this a Stephen King novel?
무슨 괴담 같네요. 무서운 거
Ah.
아니고요.
Thanks, Sinclair. By the way, I can totally understand you being scared. The way, you know, your entire town was obliterated at Christmas.
억지로 웃지 않아도 돼, 싱클레어.
Don't force yourself to laugh, Sinclair. This is a real Kafka-esque situation.
첫 판부터 주눅 드는 기세로 가면 좋지 않은데.
I don't like this at all. We're this scared so soon after entering the nest? Everyone seems to be on edge thanks to the unsettling story we heard earlier. I know what to do. Hey, Heathcliff, that invitation, can you read it out loud for us again? It'll be a good idea to remind ourselves of our current mission. Besides, I could use a refresher myself. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. So true.
그까지 초대장 읽어서 뭐 하라고?
It's just an invitation. There ain't anything special about it. Neatly folded invitation Heathcliff produced from his pockets completely betrayed his attempt at appearing aloof. It was folded with such tender care that it almost resembled a neat paper craft. He cleared his throat. Heathcliff, my beloved,
부디 참석하시어.
please honor this occasion with your presence.
경의를 담아.
With great respect, Nellie.
그리고
And bollocks. You have to be here, Heath. I'll be waiting. Kathy? No way. We would never clear all Kathy. Dang. Gregor would say with the damn. Oh. This wasn't exactly what I had in mind when I asked him to read that letter. What are we, a party crowd at some dive bar? Oh, that wasn't what we were going for? Thank you, Rodion. I knew that this would happen. I ain't even mad. Oh, thank you, Heathcliff. Besides, all she said is she'd be waiting. She never said she missed me or wanted to see me. Come on, bud. Just look at the way she wrote it. Here. Come on, bud. Let me see. Some sitters gather in a circle like they're doing a literary analysis of an invitation letter. Maybe I was worrying too much. They're like school kids opening their first love letters. What, were you never ever interested in those things, Sinclair? I was a good, diligent student. The only things I ever cared about were my textbooks and the school lectures. And didn't he get like a letter and it was the reason he like his family died and why his entire life got turned upside down, like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Sinclair, thy countenance appeareth to be turning rosy again. For the last time, I said it's genetics. What about you, Dante? Oh, never mind. Hey, what's the oddly sorry look on your face? Oh, sorry, I couldn't tell from the way your face.
안타까울 필요는 없다. 세상엔 많은 취향이
The manager has no need for your sympathy. I am certain that there are those who appreciate their unique appearance. That is true. There is someone who's like, clocks. Nice clock, bro. Is it not odd? What, that someone actually wrote Heathcliff a love letter? Shut up, Ishmael. You're friends with Heathcliff. Oh, my Yusang, that is such a rude thing to say. No, I had no intention of relaying such crass sentiments to... Just kidding, Yusang, just kidding. I was actually thinking the same thing. Since we're not looking for a lobotomy corp branch of T-Corp, since we're heading to this Wuthering Heights Manor instead, I suppose that's where we'll find the Golden Bough. That was precisely what I intended to convey, Miss Ishmael. Thank you for bringing that up. I was starting to get tired of being the bringer of unpleasant news. Hopefully none of you are under the impression that you were headed to Wuthering Heights just because of some invitation Heathcliff received. Because if you are, you'll be sorely disappointed. Right, so we're looking at the context she wrote this in. What she's really trying to say here is, no, but you gotta look at the tone she used here. Sure, moving on. There was a report from LCCB that a golden bough has been observed. They narrowed its location down to somewhere within the Wuthering Heights Manor. But there was a significant risk on account of the Manor's unique security system that prevented the before team from conducting their on-site preliminary survey. The exact location of the bough has yet to be identified. Unique security measures? Not sure if I remember anything like that. Right, then it's even more odd. No other ways to put it. Indeed, though I remain ignorant of the monetary value and the public perception of its worth. I do know that the golden bough is not an item so easily obtainable that it may be housed in a normal private manner. I can be sure that the golden bough wasn't always located inside the manor. I see, then the golden bough, its previous location in an unknown area within T-Corp's Lobotomy Corp branch, has been transferred to the manor for a reason we are yet to be aware of. Right, this Catherine person will be a major part of this operation. To have a golden bough all to herself in that manner. And she's gotta be one confident woman too, confident enough to believe that Heathcliff will come to the manor just to see her face, even if it wasn't for the golden bough. Now this conversation seemed to even register to Heathcliff, however. Oi, let me know if you see a barbershop or a boutique nearby. This isn't a tour bus, Heathcliff. We will not make unnecessary stops like the ones you suggest. Right, I get it. Then why don't you just leave me behind and go up ahead? I'll catch up. So, Heathcliff, I've been watching the shop very closely, but I haven't noticed a single open shop. It might be because of the rumors from earlier in the fog. Why don't you just leave it to us, Rhodey and I? What the hell are you— Wait! Heathcliff. I just want to give him a big old hug. The bus emerged from the back streets into a rather quiet-looking village. Fog was still thick, and everything was still in that faded hue. Even the occasional sightings of pedestrians had ceased. The very idea of color variation seemed like an alien concept here. All I see are orange-hued lights coming through the windows of misty gray buildings. It was as though everyone decided to stay indoors for the day. You know what's interesting is, what do they get out of taking all the colors away? Right? It's like oppression, but for no purpose. Like, I get it's supposed to be a metaphor, but what is T-Corp doing? Like, there has to be some sort of better business strategy. Well, I guess they can sell back the colors. Yeah. No, T-Corp is just a regular American corporation. They take something that was free and then they make you pay for it. I can't even tell where we are or how close we are from our destination anymore. Have you been here by chance, he's saying? He was the only other sinner who had spent a while in T-Corp, so I decided to ask if he recognized anything, but it was evident that this scenery was unfamiliar to him. Though I have resided here for some time, most of my hours were spent earning a living and conducting my research when I could afford to do so. Thus, I have not ventured freely the streets of T-Corp. Can't imagine doing any research in a place like this. Can't have been easy.
익숙해지면 괜찮소. 오히려 이곳에서
It is quite manageable once one grows accustomed to this monochromatic sight. The presence of variance in color itself is a concept alien to those who are born and raised in these lands.
그리고 나는
And I have shoulders of those that I could lean on, even for a fleeting moment. It helps to have such support when acclimating to a place as foreign as this. Yi-Sang looks away to a place far beyond here. Memories of his past, most likely. Did you ever hear anything about what T-Corp's singularity is?
그것에 대해선
As all singularities are, its true nature, its mechanisms and function are something of an enigma yet. Yi-Sang paused and carefully began to speak.
시간과 관련이 되어 있다는 것만은 알고 있었소.
I am aware that it is aught to do with time, though I am unsure of its use.
인지는 모르겠지만 이 또한 부질없는
Well, I suppose this is all but meaningless conjecture, and only Miss Faust among us must be aware of the answers.
T사가 거주자들로부터 끊임없이 색을 빼앗아가는
Its singularity is one of the reasons T-Corp constantly drains colors from its inhabitants.
그게 색이랑 무슨
What's time
상관인데?
got to do with color?
시간을 필연적으로
If the
제어해야
control of
하는
time is
것은
so imperative to T-Corp's operations, then they must also control the realm of light.
빛은
As light is inherently has much to do with the spectrum of colors, these two subjects eventually overlap.
제가 알고 있는 시간에 대해서까진 추론이 가능했습니다.
That is as far as I could deduce regarding the concept of time that I am aware of. Yet it must also be said that it takes time for me to reach Faust's specific knowledge regarding T-Corp's singularity. Faust, known among us for her maybe, and perhaps rarely give us answers this detailed. Then now's the time to ask her all my questions. Miss Faust, as we discuss the subject of time, indeed, it would be safe for us to move on from the subject of T-Corp at this time.
또
Aw.
말하다가 입을 닫아버렸네.
There she goes again, teasing us with stuff she's not going to tell us anyway. I guess I should be glad that she decided to tell us this much. I doubt she'll tell us more no matter how much we pry.
그런데
That's kind of sad,
특이점으로 인해서
that there are people who've never seen color their whole lives, all because of the singularity.
뭐다 그런
Well,
거지.
that's just how it goes, isn't it?
지금
In the eyes of a stranger, we'd just be just another one of those poor, miserable people who's never seen a color.
뭐가 되었든
That's the danger in trying to your very first bite of the meat. You taste it once, you'll never unknow the flavor, and in the end, you'll start to wish you never tried it. It is pretty disappointing that even the sun loses its vibrancy here.
하늘의 색이 그리워질 때는
Oft did I long to see the colors of the sky, especially the sky that looms over a light rain of shower of rain.
그래 그런 것들도
Yeah, things like the color of the sky too. You long to see it, only because you've seen its beauty. If you were born here, never to escape its borders to the last of your days without ever seeing the blue sky, then I'd hardly call that death miserable.
그것까지 불행하다고
Calling even
하는데
that miserable is nothing but
오히려
sheltered
오만하다는
arrogance.
거지.
그렇게 생각할 수도 있겠네요.
I guess that could also be true. The atmosphere in the bus suddenly became incredibly frosty.
아, 그거 해보자.
Oh hey, can someone turn down the AC?
뭔지에 따라서
Oh hey, speaking of
각각
color, I got
성격이
something to
있을
ask
텐데.
you. Have you guys ever heard of the colors game? Apparently each type of personality has a corresponding color. Well, like is Rodion about to explain how sin is color based? Rodia, who was the first one to chill in the bus, was the one to chill the bus in the first place, was also the first to break the ice.
이상이 하늘색을
If Yi-Sang
좋아하는
enjoys the
거라서
light blue color of the sky, then let's see. You must be a gloomy guy. You must be a thinker and a philosopher who prefers the calm and quiet. Ooh, how did you come to know that? That is quite remarkable talent you have. She could have never found this information any other way.
나도 해줘.
Oh, I wish my favorite color to rated as well.
아니
Forsooth, I quite fancy the color red. Nay, yellow, nay, red. Ah, nay.
차례를
Now
기다려.
wait, your turn. Next order is Faust. Oh, it's going by the order of
저는
잠깐.
Wait up. I know exactly what you're about to say. You were about to say Faust does not hold such belief in such ideations, or something like that, right?
그런 사람은 대체로
Which is exactly what people who like the color white would say. I'm right, aren't I? Like your hair is white too.
그저 말을 아끼겠습니다.
I will not comment further on this subject.
너?
Me? My favorite color? What a stupid question. That's Naphthalus.
너는
But I like... He pauses. A great manor begins to emerge into our view from a distance. I could immediately tell that this was Wuthering Heights. That's exactly what a person who loves the color white would say. That's messed up, dude.
검은색 모든
Black.
물감을 다시
It's the
버리는
color you get when you dump an entire set of paint into the bucket in it.
그래서 제일
And that's exactly why I tolerate it. Keep throwing paint over paint over paint, and you get black. Simple. I can clearly hear that Heathcliff is muttering through gritted teeth. I have a feeling that black wasn't always his favorite color. Oh no, he needs a hug. No. Alright, well the ads are coming. So I will be right back. Oh wait, I forgot it always takes a little bit, so I'm just gonna... We'll start the next level. The bus. Two things changed the moment the Wuthering Heights Manor appeared above the horizon.
거울.
Mirror. I need a mirror. Anyone got a mirror? Come on, anyone?
왜 이러시는
What has gotten into you, Heathcliff? This mirror is a... One was Heathcliff, who was suddenly overcome with intense anxiety. And the other was the weather that grew dark and tempestuous all of a sudden. What a terrifying noise.
원래 이렇게 날씨가
Was the weather here always this awful?
바람은
It was always this windy, yeah? Almost like a constant tempest.
하지만 이런
But this thunder and lightning? Wow, the weather at Wuthering Heights was always this awful, thunder or not.
멀리서만 봐도
That really is one massive manor if it looks like that big from this far away.
침침한 눈에 가라.
Ron can't see well, not sure if this is the right place, but we're here.
번개가 번쩍
Lightning goes boom, eyes go ow. This manor worked as though it came straight out of a dark gothic tale full of mysteries. Use code back from ads for 20% off the being back from ads. Water. It's quite refreshing. So are we just waiting for Virgilius to go off the bus again? When hasn't that been the case, Manager Bud? I mean, it's not like we're digging into a lobotomy corp branch or entering one of the wings, right? It's just a manor, so I don't see what's stopping him from coming with us. Something, it feels... That's what it is. Now, off the bus, Karan and I will wait outside until we're done with our mission. None of the sinners were hiding their dissatisfaction with Virgilius. Some of them were even standing with their arms crossed. By the looks on your faces, clearly you all collectively have something to say. Of course not. I would hardly ever dare to challenge thee. Well, maybe not every sinner. We've gone through a lot of things, survived various trials and tribulations. Tribulations that could have easily been handled had Virgilius been there with us. Looks like Ishmael decided to step up as our representative. You introduced yourself to us as our guide, didn't you? So what kind of guide just tosses everyone at the start of the journey and goes off on their own with the bus driver? Where are you guys even going? I want to make it clear that I'm not being a hard ass for no good reason. I'm asking you because I want to trust you. After all, we're technically all in the same boat. This is a boat now. Remember that. We're co-workers. I'd say the least you could do is tell us where you're headed. Or where we're headed. Virgilius held his silence for a moment. His brows were not as furrowed as they usually are, which is the only indicator to me that he wasn't as offended to hear this as I thought he'd be. Just like you sinners who joined this company via your individual contracts, I also signed a contract with specific clauses and conditions I must abide by. Huh? The company made thee, a color most illustrious, sign a contract as well? Of course I did. Why would I be babysitting you children on this bus otherwise? I'm not one to work for free. I don't know. My theory is because Limbus Company just came out of nowhere, it's just like a sub-company of some like really big and powerful wing. So it's like, yeah, we're like, this company is like a subcontractor to like, I don't know, some company. And then that company has bigger share if Limbus Company takes over as the new L Corp. Which I assume is their goal because their name starts with L. I don't want to bother detailing each and every clause of my contract to you, nor should I. But Ishmael, I quite liked that you used the word trust in your speech, so I believe that you deserve at least a brief explanation. I'm not supposed to retrieve the golden boughs myself, nor am I allowed to provide you with any direct support. The contract stipulates that I must leave everything to the manager and the sinners. Why the hell would you sign a contract like that? I'm assuming the reason for that is because they want everyone to get stronger, as like sort of like a proof of concept for the clock. As always, it's meaningless to ask me why. Contracts are rarely ever fully understood by those that are not a part of it. But what I can tell you is that when I ask you sinners to leave this bus for a mission, I suppose in a way I say it with a lighter heart than I used to. I'm no longer concerned that in my desire to fulfill the conditions for every clause in my contract, the manager might be irreversibly hurt. I would be left with nothing if such a thing were to happen. Did he just admit to trusting us more than he used to? Don't make him repeat something like that, Dante. Especially when someone went through the trouble of expressing their true hidden feelings. Besides... Wait. I'm not going in there like this. Nope, can't do this. Oi, turn the bus around. But he doesn't do U-turns. Bollocks. I ain't going back to the manor in these wrinkly rags. Oh yeah, right. Every single one of our elaborate plans to dress him up in fancy clothes fell through. Hey, you don't look that bad. I think he looks quite handsome. Right. Dress up in clothes that you like and everyone will think you're fashionable.
이런 꼬라지로 가면 또다시 그 새끼들이
If I go in back in these rags, those bastards will...
그 새끼들이
Those
누군데?
bastards? Who are they? Bastards that always eye me up and down, trying to find a speck of dust, a single flaw, something to latch onto just to humiliate me. Then gouge out their eyes. Thank you, Ryoshu. Oh, that would be quite the clever solution. And Otis and Ryoshu do the, like, Terminator, you son of a bitch. And then they shake hands. What do you even... Looks like Heathcliff is the only one who's taking this seriously. The hell is wrong with the pair of you? Quit giggling like that.
그럴 줄 알고
Good thing we came
우리가
prepared for
준비를
exactly this
해왔죠.
occasion.
아무리 생각해도
I just couldn't imagine Heath
혼자서
managing to
물끄러미
pull off this
꾸미는
makeover on his own.
꽤 전에
Rhodia and I
로자는
did some
함께
shopping in the back
뒷골목에서
streets before we entered the nest.
동지 안에는
We were-
뒷골목보다 대단한 게 있을지도 모르니 기다려봤는데 뭐 살만한 곳이
We were
없으니까
waiting to reveal these
아쉬운
just in
대로
case there was
숨고
anything more impressive in the nest. But thanks to the disappointing lack of anything even remotely interesting, we'll just make do with what we picked up earlier. Wait a bloody second. When the two of you went off on your own, no, all you brought back was a whole basket of cookies, wasn't it?
과자들이 능숙하게
Those cookies were decoy cookies, Heath.
그중 몇
Though some of
개는
them did end up as part of my daily sustenance, of course. Well, I couldn't find this particular brands I used back home. These should be more than enough for a proper fashion makeover. But come on, can't we make things nice and happy for once? Let him wear something else other than his uniform, just for today. Like, no one wants to meet their old flame while wearing their work clothes, right? I like how he has several different, like grumbling sound effects. Like, one of them's like a I'm starting to get angry grumble, and one of them is like a whatever, I don't care, just keep doing that grumble, and one of them's like a inquisitive grumble, like a
그래도 저 길잡이가
Well, I doubt the guy will ever let anything like that slide. Fine. What?
또 멋대로 작당해서
I would prefer it if we didn't have to encourage another rogue incident with the back door.
정말이야?
Seriously, guide Terraria. Go kill the Eye of Cthulhu. Heathcliff trembled like he was about to give Virgilius a big hug. Now, Heathcliff, close your eyes. Relax and let us take care of everything. Pretend you're at the proverbial peach blossom spring.
잠깐, 머리 함부로 그렇게
Wait, don't touch my hair like that. Whoa! Oh, you ain't half bad. What is with the metal clanking? Are they hitting him with a hammer against his rock hard abs?
히스클리프 씨는 지금 단장 중이랍니다.
I'm pogging. I like how they made this like, this looks like a Twitch emote. Sometime later. Oh my god. He looks... I don't like it. He looks fancy, but it doesn't work for him. I think you might have overdone it with the hair.
다른 거 아니야?
안 돼. 홍루가 얼마나
What do you mean I thought you like it? Don't touch it. Do you even have any idea how hard Honglu worked on that? I don't think that specific outfit works on him. It's a reunion of the century. We can't possibly let him say hello to his old flame with a big brutish club in his hand. I think the rolled up sleeves were really important.
사줄 것 같으니까.
Sir Heathcliff appeareth at 10 more merciful than usual. Perhaps he shall accept my request should I implore him to purchase me a pint of ice cream.
그리고
And he no longer looks like he's on the verge of punching me when I make the smallest noises. Lad, please. Please don't bring up anything even remotely like that in front of Catherine. Well, I'll be. Clothes really do make the man. Do let me know how this reunion goes. I'll be looking forward to hearing that tale. Like, I think the thing is that if I saw this character design from the start, I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. But it is so shocking, right? I think I'm just like going through like the process of emotionally processing this, right? But for them, imagine living with this guy and he is like rolled up the sleeves of his button-down shirt and his arms are covered in scars and he's got this big giant metal bat, and then suddenly he looks like this. Sure. So Heathcliff, I've been meaning to ask this question for a while. I wanted him to know the answer, but I couldn't bring myself to ask it. Why'd you leave Wuthering Heights? It's where the love of your life lives, isn't it? Heathcliff, who'd been busily moving about and preparing to leave the bus, suddenly comes to a halt. I didn't mind it. The thrashings, the starvings, the abuse, them treating me like a servant, like I'm something beneath them. I didn't mind being treated like I'm nothing more than an afterthought, like I'm some impure trash to be discarded. But when I heard what Catherine said, I realized that I no longer had any reason to remain in that manner. Heathcliff did not elaborate further. Ethan described Wuthering Heights as a book where what if there was an evil person in your house? And that was his entire description. I'm just like, so true, bestie. Perhaps it wasn't that he didn't, but perhaps he couldn't bring himself to. I didn't dare ask him just what he was about to say, so I simply nodded in response. I see. Oh, looks like Karon's got something to say about your new fit. Karon definitely has something to say. Something big. Great, awesome. Now, Karon, what do you think? Looks oily and greasy. Karon doesn't like greasy. This isn't how I thought it'd go. Karon's words must have hit him hard. Yeah, like, I think his hair was fine. Heathcliff seems like the kind of guy who can just get out of bed and his hair is already, like, good. Right? It's not that it's, like, all done up and it's not, like there's no, like, what is it called? There's no cowlicks, right? But I think Heathcliff's the kind of guy who he just rolls out of bed and the hair already looks perfect. Right, it doesn't look like conventionally perfect, but it's like you couldn't improve how he looks, right? Or maybe I'm just biased. This is uncomfortable. Why, is it normal for these clothes to squeeze harder with every step I take? That is what it means to maintain an air of dignity. Once you get used to that feeling, you'll feel like you're missing something whenever you're dressed casually. So this must be the front gate to your former place of abode, Heathcliff. A massive gate alone feels downright intimidating. That's one big front door. It is known that in certain regions of the city, the size of the front gate is an indicator of one's social standing. The magnitude of this front gate indicates that the owner of this home is very affluent. Heathcliff, you picked on Hong Lu for being a rich kid when you were raised at some huge mansion yourself? I don't mind at all. I'm feeling a bit betrayed, actually. Sir Heathcliff, thou appeareth quite different today. Keep your stupid comments to yourselves. Some were teasing him, and some were generally surprised, but it didn't matter to Heathcliff. Every word he spat out was dripping with venomous spite. I wasn't even remotely close to being rich. I was never once rich in this manner. I wasn't even allowed to be content, not even for a moment. In this manner never accepted me, not even for a... Did he just get kidnapped? What the hell? A lightning strike seems to have struck an area near the forest. That was so loud. It's okay. I heard that it's extremely rare for lightning to actually hit people. I can't wait for Sinclair to get struck by lightning. A momentary musing reveals that a strike of 11 brings about a sensation that is not unlike the joy of fireworks. It fills the dark and cold void of the night sky with its incandescent brilliance, even for a brief moment before fading away into oblivion. Oh, did I miss something that Don said?
히스클리프군. 그대가 굉장히 낯설어 보이네만. 오늘따라.
Ah, okay, so I don't click instantly. Okay. What joy is there to be found? I could hear some forest critters fleeing, spooked by the thunderstrike.
저것 보시게. 조그만 다람쥐가 있네.
I just like to imagine them getting the Don Quixote VA in the booth, and they're like, "Are you ready?" And she's like, hold on," and then she walks out into the lobby, and then goes to a vending machine and gets like 4 coffees, and then downs all of them simultaneously. Like puts like 4 cans up to her mouth, drinks them instantly, crushes the cans, throws them in the trash, and then she says, "Now I'm ready." Wow, such nature so close to home? I didn't know you used to live in such an eco-friendly place. I suppose I wouldn't have to go through the trouble of building a private zoo if I lived in a place like this.
도시에서 정원이나 숲을 가진다는 것은 이러니 저러니 해도 엄청난 재력가라는 것은 틀림없지.
Even if we were to ignore everything else, that alone indicates that its owner has something of an unimaginable affluence.
그렇네.
Right. I remember that Sinclair's home was in the middle of a forest too.
다람쥐도 있고 뭐 몇몇 짐승들도 심심찮게 볼 수 있어.
Squirrels, sure. There were other animals roaming about too.
아주 가끔 가다가 기분이 걷잡을 수 없게
Sometimes,
힘들어서
when I was so miserable that I could hardly bear to even be in that manner, I'd go to the forest and not return for a long, long time.
그럴 때마다 이 다람쥐군이 적잖은 친구가 되어주었겠어.
Oh, then this tiny forest friend, a little Sir Squirrel, must have been quite the jolly companion for thee. Hold on. Big Jim, no! The little squirrel that may have once been Heathcliff's tiny forest friend was immediately scorched into a pile of ash the moment it crossed over into the manor's front gate. That was a weird lightning strike. Did it just curve midair?
일반적인 상황에서 벌어지기에는 지극히 낮은 확률이군요.
The chance of such an occurrence is extraordinarily low. It might just be that I'm overreacting, but it looked as though that lightning was curving itself to strike exactly where that squirrel was standing.
이런 위험천만한
Whoa, Heathcliff, I had no idea you grew up in such a dangerous... Oh, I thought she was being sarcastic. I thought you... Oops. Sorry, Ishmael, I was throwing shade, Perhaps I'm the jaded one. I'm impressed you even survived. No, blimey. I've not seen anything like it. Right, Heathcliff. Ready to knock on the front gate? Front gate. He stared blankly at the front gate of the manor. I've not knocked on this gate in good many years. I once had to wait out here for hours because they all refused to let me in. Everyone except Catherine. She snuck out of the manor to open it for me. Walking through the heavy rain. Well then, I'm sure it won't be different this time. So if I knock, Catherine will come out to let me in? Hup. Heathcliff takes a deep breath before knocking on the front door. Huh, nothing. That's not what I meant when I said it won't be different this time. Oh well. We can try climbing the fence. I think we can clear that height as long as we're okay with breaking our ankles. No. Oh. Heathcliff was a whole bundle of anxiety before he knocked on the front gate, but perhaps this perceived slight reverted Heathcliff to his usual angry self. I was invited to this manor. This invitation would be meaningless if I were to leap over the fence. They ignored you once. Continuing to shout won't. Catherine? No way. Hit PlayStation video game Catherine? Despite his efforts, not even a soul stirred beyond the front gate. None of us really believed that anyone would come out to greet him. The front gate began to creak open as though someone was answering his pleas. The makeover was worth it, hmm? Hong Lu. Now that Hong Lu is talking, I'm like, Hong Lu, I've been too down on you. Maybe it's because he just doesn't speak. That is the issue. I am the storm that is approaching. Oh no! A Danganronpa character died in this grass! Oh, blood everywhere! Heavy rain and the tempest only grew harsher the closer we got to the manor. Though we have long made it past the front gate, not a soul doth appear. The bubbling excitement of the sinners when they disembarked the bus had all but disappeared. Silent air of apprehension surrounded them as they gingerly took their hesitant steps towards the manor. Kathy, have you been well? No, Catherine, it has been a while, hasn't it? No, this ain't that ain't it either. In the midst of his aura of uneasiness, only Heathcliff seemed to be preoccupied by something else. The rest of the sinners were... What Limbus Company and Danganronpa brain rot meet? Did you catch that? A bird, a subspecies of sparrows to be exact. Lightning continues to strike aggressively, even this far past the front gate. We would have been burnt to a crisp had it struck even a little closer. Lightning continued to blast the earth, as though it wouldn't be satisfied until it's reduced every living thing in the manor grounds to a pile of ashes. Now, the thing is, I remember when Virgilius said that the manor had a weird security system. I wonder what that could be. It's definitely not the lightning, because as we know, lightning can't be reasonably imitated by humans. Is it gonna be us if we hit us if we walk faster? Or maybe it hits things that are moving too slowly. Maybe we should speed up? I don't know. Our walking speed seems irrelevant. Instead, it's almost as if this lightning has a will of its own, striking with intent. This brings back some unpleasant memories. Oh, maybe it's like this house's defense system? Defense system. Do you imply that this may be a part of the manor's security measures? Maybe it only targets things that enter the manor grounds without permission. I've seen security measures that are more precise and more conclusive than this. Larger manors often do install more effective security systems after all. Oh, I think our family talked about installing defense system at our home too. It was one of those topics that kept coming up during dinner. That wouldn't make sense. Not that I'll ever understand the thought process behind these systems.
LCCB 팀이 접근하지 못했다던.
Perhaps the security measures that prevented the before team from approaching the manor may be...
네. 하지만 저희는 초대장이
Yeah,
있잖아요.
but we have the invitation with
안심하고
us.
걸어도
I
될
think
것
we'll be fine.
같다는
Oh, does the invitation have like a chip in it that tells the lightning not to strike them? Is that really all this is? Is this just one of those normal security measures that every rich family supposedly has?
하지만 조금
This is
신기하긴
pretty
하네요.
interesting though. I heard that the technology to change the weather itself is really expensive to the point of being inefficient. So expensive that I've not seen it myself. No, it only attacks people who enter without permission. Don't ask how the targeting software works. Oh my god, the targeting software is a sweatshop in a third world country. I remained silent because I didn't want to concern the sinners with something I wasn't sure about. But the closer we got to the manor, the more confident I became that something was off. That this extremely abnormal weather isn't the work of some security system. This absolutely has something to do with a golden bough. But this golden bough feels different from the ones we've encountered before. It's a bit more chaotic? Oh, these flowers. They're covered in blood. Sinclair was right. The manor's garden was lightly littered with flowers. They were the only things of color in this dreary sight. Oh, ads. I wonder what these flowers are called?
혹시 말이야.
Huh, I guess you can return the colors even to flowers if you cough up enough cash.
그렇습니다.
Indeed.
그렇다는 것은
Then the proprietor of this manor must have held a particular love for these flowers.
곧 시들어버릴
To return the colors to such transient things as flowers. Or perhaps it may be simply that they are preposterously affluent. Heathcliff quietly gazed at the patches of violet flowers as Yisang mused out loud.
틀렸어.
You're wrong.
꽃을 묻혀둔
There was no particular love for these flowers.
그 마음이
There was no room, no warmth in that heart to spare for mere flowers. Heathcliff appeared so doleful that I felt as though he had built a tall opaque wall between himself and the world. I could not bring myself to ask further. He did not tell us the name of those flowers.
어서 오세요.
Oh my, oh my. Oh. Hello. Someone hurriedly runs this way from the manor's front door holding a lantern.
날씨가 참 말썽이죠. 하긴 티사는 워더링 하이츠는 화창한 적이 드물지만요.
What awful weather, Well, T-Corp is. The Wuthering Heights Manor is rarely ever sunny, but this is quite the storm. Long time no see, Nelly.
세상에 히스클리프? 정말 너구나.
My word, Heathcliff? Is that you? Is it really? It really is you. Yeah.
그렇게 떠난 후에
You haven't the slightest idea how worried I was since you left. Have you been eating well? You've not been bullied by a rough crowd, have you?
다니진 않는지.
Bullied by a what?
우리가 그동안 소식을 얼마나
We've
궁금해.
wanted to hear from you for so long.
자, 들어와.
Do come in now. Come in. This Nellie regarded us with a curious look. As though she didn't quite understand what we were supposed to be. I'll be honest, if I met Dante, I would be like, so can you explain what your deal is, or do I just have to not ask?
설마
If I may be so bold as to presume, would you be our dear Heathcliff's friends?
네.
Yeah, well,
신부
friends? Are we?
되는 건가요?
친구의 범위를 어디
The answer to that question hinges on the range of affinity one would define as a delineation that separates friends from acquaintances.
그럼.
Of course we're friends. Precious friendship, forged in fire. Multiple fires, actually.
히스클리프의
Your
소중한
dear
친구들.
Heathcliff's precious friends are about to freeze to their deaths in the rain, woman. Jesus Christ.
귀한 분들이 오셨네요.
My, what honorable guests I welcome to this place today. I must be all over the place to leave you all standing in the rain. Come in now. Come in. It's a tad warmer in here than it is outside. The interiors of Wuthering Heights was rather dark yet.
정말 저
This manor
사람은
doth have color.
색이
Its hue appeared a tad faded from its original vibrancy, but there was color in this manor.
말했잖아. 저택에
What did I tell
색이
you?
들었다고.
I could see color inside this manor.
이것도 뭐
Well, it's all bought by money anyway.
저택에 걸린 이 랜턴들이 있으면 색을
Believe it or not, there's something about these lanterns hanging in about the manor that brings back colors.
본래의 색을 밝혀주는
Oh, the lanterns that return the object's original saturation. These are quite the expensive luxuries, are they not?
그래도 완전한 색을
It still
돌려받지
doesn't bring
못해.
all the colors back. Things still remain a tad gloomy.
그런데 캐시는
So where's
어디-
Kathy?
헤이클리프.
Heathcliff, please tell me of your life since you have left us. Where have you been staying? Have you been eating well? My, have you lost weight? Huh?
그래도 너무 늦지 않았을
I'm glad your
뿐이야.
delay wasn't too substantial.
다들 널 기다리고
We
있었거든.
have all been waiting for your arrival.
다들?
그러고 보니
Now, let me get a better look at you. The refined dress clothes, the hair. My, you've certainly grown into a right proper gentleman, haven't you? Quite the popular lad you are with a posse of friends and all. Nellie is talking. Nellie is quite the yapper.
뭐
Well, did I?
그럼
But of
멀리서
course,
못 알아보겠어.
I would not have recognized you from a distance. Nellie was talking so fast that Heathcliff wasn't spared even a second to get in a single word. Nellie, was it? What is your precise relation to Heathcliff? As his precious friend, colleague, and comrade in arms, I cannot help but be curious as to how you two know each other. Otis, who was conspicuously scanning the interiors of the manor, suddenly asked Nellie the most transparently suspicious question that I've ever heard. Let's see, Heathcliff's, how should I put this?
부모라고 해야 하나?
Nanny, I suppose?
부모요?
Nanny?
그
What, like you wipe Heathcliff's snot, change his baby clothes, and am I thinking of the right nanny?
밥을 먹기 거부할
And when the
때는
baby is fussy about the food, nannies spoon feed it to them.
아이 넬리.
Oh, Nellie, quit teasing me like that.
부모라고 하기에는
You weren't exactly my nanny, and you know that.
우린 어렸을 때부터
We've known each other
서로를
since we were
알려주고 있어.
both young,
그리고 난 넬리를
and I did
하나처럼
not treat her like a servant or follow her around like she was my nanny. Mind you, I am now the chief butler of the house. You must see the other butlers moving about like soldiers when I give a word.
뭐
Well,
네가 제일
you were the
일을
best at your
빠르게
job.
했으니까. 그런데 나 슬슬 인내심이
She wants to
생기더라.
embarrass him,
넬리,
so they're like siblings, or she just fucking hates him. Nellie, I'm getting quite impatient, so I've got to ask. Heathcliff must have wanted so badly to ask her where Kathy was.
이 연애는
Oh, I meant.
언제 시작이야?
Oh, it is. I think what I said still could hold slightly true. So when's the banquet starting? Instead, he hid his true question behind a mask of aloofness. But Nellie's expression became somewhat odd upon hearing Heathcliff's query. The banquet?
어이,
Oi, when's this brigand coming? Is he even on his way?
사람을 불러
You can't just leave after gathering us all down here. If I have to sit a second longer next to these mugs, I'm gonna lose it. There's a furious voice echoing from down the halls. Nellie, wait, I recognize that voice. My, she just arrived, mind you. Let's join the others, Heathcliff. Like I said, we've all been waiting for your arrival. Heathcliff bit his lips anxiously and followed Nellie. This doesn't feel at all like a manor that's about to throw a party.
네.
Yeah, that's a cruise ship party. This manor.
이곳에서 아무리 감추려고 해도 말이죠.
You can't hide the rising sense of dread from places like these.
숨길 수가 없더라고요.
Doesn't matter how hard you try.
평소에도
This manor does not appear to have been a place where liveliness is an expected element.
청소를 급하게
I see signs of rush cleaning, conducted immediately before the guests arrive. Several cracks and areas in need of repair have been identified as well. Also, Merceau is the kind of guy where you come back from a weekend where you had a party because it was like your birthday or something. You come back and you see him in the office, right? You're just walking in. He's in the lobby. He looks at your feet, looks in your face, and he said, you gained exactly 0.6 pounds this weekend, and then he just walks away. I was scant expecting a raucous party, yet this is quite the depressing presentation. I followed Don Quixote in the halls. She appeared to be terribly disappointed. A battle? Are we gonna walk in the room and that asshole's gonna attack us? Two people sat by a dying hearth, surrounded by their respective posse. It was quite apparent from the way they sat opposite of one another, the relationship was far from amicable. One end was a group of people dressed in mysterious masks, surrounding a jumpy-looking man who looked like he was one little nudge away from hollering foul insults at everyone. On the other end was a group of people dressed in an identical uniform. Sinclair told me that they were wearing an outfit that most manor employees wear to each other. One of them stood out, as he was the only one among them in a black suit. He appeared somewhat uncomfortable. It seemed as though he was in a great deal of pain merely by being here. And between the two groups were... Fixers! I recognize their outfits. Forsooth, they must be fixers from the Orpheus Association. It was quite rare to even get a sighting of a single Orpheus fixer. They required the momentous occasion to even grace us with their presence. Shh, we'll have time to ask for autographs later. Later, all right? And to coax Don Quixote, he was practically quivering from immediately running to them for signatures, because we had unintentionally become the center of attention from the entire room. Thank you, Don. Always doing the right thing. The center of a very negative attention. By gum, that vagabond has returned. The bloody shame of Wuthering Heights. Same old Josephine, huh? Look at him, strutting about like he owns the place. If our mistress were to witness this travesty. Gosh, Josephine, that is quite enough. Don't mind her, Heathcliff. This blessed land of Wuthering Heights, reduced to an asylum for vagrants and drifters. The mistress had been here to witness this tragic, deplorable state of affairs. There was an old woman in the room who was muttering some choice words at us while staring with eyes full of hatred. I guess Don Quixote, and Otis, and Rodion, and Faust. Oh, you meant the Wuthering Heights characters. Probably Nellie. In the 1800s, they would never let a woman be in charge of the butler staff. And I guess Josephine, maybe. I don't know. This brigand returns, and quite delayed at that. How dare you show your face?
조용히 하십시오.
Hindley, please. Exercise some restraint. Oh.
히스클리프.
Heathcliff,
정말
I hardly did expect your return.
캐서린을 잊지
You have yet to let Catherine go, still. It was clear that the two had been acquainted with Heathcliff for a while. But the nature of the acquaintance was more of a long-standing hatred stemming from the deep history of contention they shared. One of the two was hardly hiding his hatred, wanting to fully seize control of his words and actions. But the other one's hatred had sunk deep into his heart, boiling and writhing underneath. Right. I wasn't exactly expecting a grand welcome upon my return. But I ain't here to see your ugly mugs. It's like you always said, my base nature is just incapable of change. Heathcliff shoots back with just as much vitriol, as though he was always used to this kind of scorn and humiliation. The man in black suit turns away as though it would degrade him to even entertain him with an answer. But this man they called Hindley. You unscrupulous shite! You bloody animal! No, a thing lesser than a savage beast! Jumped up from his seat, his face turning bright red from anger. By the looks of it, you found yourself a band of vagrants and vagabonds just like you, eh? Crawling back to see if there's something worth pilfering from this place? You lot! Beat his ass and teach him a lesson. Break a bone or two. No orders from boss. Shut it! I'm your boss's boss. I hired him and the rest of you. I don't expect these boneheaded fools to give you much trouble anyway. Head of bone? What on earth is this fellow speaking? Head of bone? What on earth is this fellow speaking of? He's just expressing his explicit desire to get his ass beat. Well, since he asked for it.
가서 할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 저보다 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까.
These seem like normal people. Wait, wasn't the Dead Rabbits the gang that Heathcliff said he was a part of? Or did he name the one he was a part of? He said he was part of a gang. Also, these are 100% the people who have been disappearing. But, like, these are the people who have been disappearing, and they're just being mind controlled. Oh well. Win rate. Well, hell, level 37. That's fine. Oh, clever. I got a ring Yi saying. I'm thinking of replacing Spice Bush with that one.
하나 눕혔네. 이렇게 눕혀가다 보면 어느새 끝나는 게 싸움인 법이지.
길 좀 막지 마.
Because I'm not super attached to Spice Bush.
왜 안에 갇혀 죽어라. 이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 그대로 두드려 패.
다시 못 살게 구는 일은 없을 것이오.
결국 마지막까지
Heathcliff, kill them!
불길 속으로.
잘 들어. 아픈 건 생각하지 마. 자세가 죽은 다음만 생각해. 그럼 공격이 더 매서워지거든.
좋아, 다 죽어라. 그 오물을 떼어내주지.
Jesus Christ.
다시 못 살게 구는 일은 없을
Yeah, I just need enough tickets to actually have to level up the ringy saying.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
So I don't think I have enough right now. I also don't have enough thread to uptie it, but I can fix that. I have a bunch of thread sitting around. Or I have a bunch of shards, I should say.
기적해 차려졌지 않나.
But I do want to have a Yi Sang just so I can use Fell Bullet when I get that.
소란이 줄었네요.
그래. 결국 마지막까지
uh-oh.
잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 그럼 공격이 더 매서워지거든.
What is this? It just doesn't do anything. All right, let me.
찢어 놓아주마. 찢었으니 이제 꿰매야지. 이리 와.
이런.
The Walpurgis Nacht is gonna be the next is the next event they're doing, right?
좋아.
Good. Now I'll separate the bones from your flesh and personally introduce you to your own skull. This shouldn't be physically possible. Well, I'm gonna Google it. Um. Okay, hold on. Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm looking at. So I don't know where I would look for this information. Oi, lads! Casual yet powerful voice booms across the hall, immediately breaking the tension in the room. I was gone just a minute to get some water. What the hell happened here? This one's gonna be Australian. This one big fucking man, eh? Wouldn't have been faster to go bucket a cup of would have been faster to go bucket a cup of water from the well myself. Boss, we have a guest. So that's their boss. Yes, executive manager. It is immediately obvious from the way he walks and from the way he carries himself that he is someone of quite the experienced in combat. Ooh, let's see. Oh, okay. So it's the next one after Christmas. So that should be Bamboo Hat and Kim is there, and I'm gonna be I'm so upset. Right on time. Your lackeys are lacking. How could they let these group of no-fame hooligans knock them in the asses? Go on, show them the meaning of pain. Looks like I gotta give my men some proper demonstration. The boss confidently strode toward Heathcliff, then gave him a playful smack on the back of his head. Oi, lad! Ain't the first thing to do when crawling back into your neighborhood to give a quick ol' hello to your dear old boss? Where'd you leave your manners? Ah, so it is his gang. Huh? You lot, wipe that stupefied look from your faces and bow to him. Come on, hurry up. Show some bloody respect. What? No, it can't be. Man waded past both the aftermath of the brawl and the heavy tension that filled the manor like he was on a stroll. He just walked into the middle of it all, and then put his arm around Heathcliff's shoulder. It was the kind of friendly gesture that only someone who's known Heathcliff for a long, long time could do.
당연한 결과죠. 저는 선택받았으니까. 그렇겠죠?
매튜 형님?
Boss. Matthew? Right on, you muppet! You've been gone for so long that people don't even recognize the infamous Mad Coney. Infamous Mad Coney. Mad Coney? You've known that vagrant for long? Why haven't you told me so? Well, I hardly imagine you'd be interested in hearing about every little friend I made back when we were just a gang rolling in the sweaty, muddy streets. Boss, where are you working with this blighter? Wait, no, but that mask, those rabbit ears. Wait, you're still with the dead rabbits? Yeah, we've changed it, Dad, haven't it? Remember that? Back in the day, we needed to crack some Adams family heads with some tattered scarf around one arm and bottles of beer on tap. We even named one of them beers after you, didn't we? Pub they used to sell that beer closed shop a few weeks ago. Ain't got much business around with that dreadful rumor keeping everyone home nowadays. What? The Wolf's Fall closed? Bloody hell. Oh, I suppose I'm leaving you all out of the loop, huh? Well, allow me to introduce the Gaffer. He was the boss of the old syndicate I used to run with. They old friends of yours, eh? Joined some posh proper company after running out on us out of nowhere, did you? Well, things just worked out that way. All of them lads and lasses your lackeys? Blimey, got a walking timepiece with you too. You that bastard! You certainly moved up in the world, huh? Lackeys? Ishmael glared at Heathcliff with a look that could kill, but she decided to hold her silence and merely shook her head in disbelief. She probably decided that it was not worth the trouble. So, what's up with the masks, boss? What is it on? Trends change with the time, lad. Time for scarves with rabbit embroidery is long past. Is that so? It looks a bit... Of course not. Who do you think we are? We're the dead rabbits. Ain't a bookish rabble that follows the cottontails of some naff trend. You've really not once returned to this place since you left, have you? I think I'm cooking with this accent. No, when I left this manor and eventually the dead rabbits, I made a promise to myself that I'd not return. Not even a step closer to this place until I have made something of myself, not until I can return as a successful man. Well, you've always hated this place, even when you were one of us. I got news for you, Heathcliff. We're no longer the same lowly backstreets gang you're familiar with. I suppose we've also moved up in the world. Someone from the ring who's been keeping their eyes on us plucked us right off the streets and into their fold. We're bigger now. We're one of the up-and-coming syndicates. The ring? One of the fingers? Must be the foulest of the ring, then. They're the only ones who'd outfit their underlings with these cheap, tacky animal masks. Then you're... Yeah, get a little shite. I'm the top boss of the Dead Rabbits now. Boss, remember what you always used to say when we've each filled up with more than 3 bottles of beer? Well, we'll be drank with some lousy beer made from halfway rotten wheat, Heathcliff. All that I remembered from the next morn was a pound Henrik and the late feeling of our emptied pockets. You used to tell me that it hurt like hell every time one of your own men came back to us hurt. Even the recruits. Like they hurt not just any underling, but an extension of you. I knew you'd make it big one day, boss. Well, I suppose drunk me knew how to wax poetic. I knew it was you, Matthew. The mask threw me off for a moment, boss. What a sorry sight this is. I sincerely apologize to you two sweethearts for crashing your tearful reunion. But the point is, while we were wandering the streets, wasting away the best years of your life on the road, Matt's been made something of himself, which is why I hired him as my bodyguard. You hear me? Not like you and your merry band of no-name second-rate hooligans. I could think of more than a few sinners who would have gotten angry enough to brandish their weapons at such an insult. But they all seem to remember that responding to such insults with violence only begot pointless turmoil, so instead they all began sighing heavily in an attempt to vent some of their pent-up anger. Italy, you seem to be sorely mistaken. This isn't the same winter you thrashed me, treated me like an indentured servant, and abused me like a hound. I won't deny that I spent many days and nights imagining tearing that foul tongue from your gob. But Heathcliff glanced briefly in our direction. Even a poor sod like myself found a place to belong, went on adventures to places you couldn't even imagine, learned a thing or two from him. You know the white whale? Like points at himself. So I just feel bad for you, mate. What? Woohoo! Olympus Company! Ooh, I do have to get off at 1 a.m. though. Or before 1 a.m., hopefully. So you really haven't changed one bit. Besides, that was that rag you're wearing. You look like more like a drifting vagabond than I do. What, you insolent fool! That man's been saying some pretty nasty stuff about us. But he doesn't even look like someone that's worth arguing with. Huh, mate. Did you even check yourself in the mirror last week?
한 번이라도 보긴 한 거냐?
In the last week?
차마 눈 뜨고는
I
못
can't
봐줄
bear to look at you so
정도인데,
down in
흰돌이.
the dumps, Hindley. Of course, we had no way of knowing what Hindley looked like in the past, but we could pretty easily tell that he was far from the most stable person in the room. You fucking bastard! No, no. Oh, I forgot what. No, Mr. Hindley. Why don't you seat yourself on the sofa and calm down? Bit more considerate of our boys standing in that corner, watching the whole thing go down, huh? They don't even get these comfy-looking leather sofas. Hindley grumbled for a moment before slumping down on the sofa. And even that simple action was stumbling and pathetic. I see what happened. He let the alcohol consume him and not the other way around. Fell into a big nasty barrel with no way out. I've seen the same look on some sailors. Failing to pull themselves out of that habit, lead them straight into the merciless maws of the lake. Not even a trace of them would be left. Well, this man's still my client. Mr. Hindley hired me for some job, which is why I'm here at the Wuthering Heights. Job? Catherine's hosting this banquet, ain't she? What kind of job would possibly need the dead rabbit's help here? They've been dodging. We haven't seen Catherine, and they've been dodging questions about Catherine. Catherine may be either dead or a fucked up monster. What? A banquet? Well, I suppose there is one thing that hasn't changed with time. It's that witless, useless idiot brain of yours, you absolute dullard. Oh, he's dying from the sickness.
제발 그만하게 부탁이니.
Buddy, Heathcliff, I'm sorry to say it, but Catherine might be a fucked up monster.
내 저택에서 그런 지저분한 말이나 듣고 싶지 않아.
I do not wish to see my manor sullied by such foul obscenities. This is not your home, Linton. It's mine. It's my manor. You're the one who sullied this noble Wuthering Heights, my birthright, bestowed upon me by my father, by taking it from me by the means of trickery. Was your own family manor too small for you, Linton Edgar? Your so noble Edgar family? Edgar family? Time for whining, crying, and throwing a tantrum to get what you want is long past. Bold words for some milksop who's about to choke himself to death on air.
힌들리 씨, 물러나십시오.
Please maintain your distance, Mr. Hindley. I've seen mongrels more loyal than you lot. I was your master only a few years ago. Have you cast aside your memories as well when you did your loyalty?
그만하세요, 힌들리님.
Cease this at once, Master Hindley. The butlers have all left Hindley Earnshaw behind, as you are very well aware yourself.
자, 너희들도
And you too, butlers. We do not want to make further trouble here, hmm? Understood, Chief Butler Nellie. After a brief silence, Heathcliff finally brought up the question he'd been stewing for so long. Nellie, where is Catherine? You must know, Nellie, that Catherine never did like these commotions. So many guests making so much noise in her home. She won't be pleased. I suppose she never did. I've been keeping my volume in check because I didn't want to offend her, but it's getting harder and harder to keep it down. I like how you said it's funny how Heathcliff acts so mature here. That's because he is. Like, he has done so much character development already in this game. And now he gets a whole chapter? There was a long look of an unfathomable, immeasurable grief. Okay, she's dead. He's like, my temper, if my temper stays in check, I look like the good person here. Hindley was absent-mindedly mumbling some foul language at the ceiling, and Heathcliff probably sensed from this ineffably dark and ominous silence that something was terribly wrong. It was settling in for us as well. After all we've been through in this journey, this kind of silence was all too familiar.
개소리는 대체 왜 안 나오고 있는 건데? 표정은 왜
Where is Catherine? What's with this dour look on everyone?
미안 히스클리프.
I'm terribly sorry, Heathcliff.
미안하다는 말을 왜
Why? Why are you sorry?
하냐고.
What the hell are you sorry about?
히스클리프,
Heathcliff,
나는 이
I may
분위기에
have a
적응하면서
correct assumption as to what this silence indicates,
그러므로 통상적인 표현으로서
so I have no other choice but to tell you, as it is common courtesy to do so, that I am very sorry to hear that.
아니,
What the fuck? Ah!
알아듣게 얘기해
Can't you
봐.
talk normally for once?
이걸
I hardly know how to tell you this, but
캐서린 아가씨는
Miss Catherine isn't here anymore.
여기 없다는 게
What do you mean she's not?
해설이는 죽었다.
Catherine, she's dead. Oopsie. Oh, I hope Heathcliff gets in the will. How did she write the note then? Or did she write the note? Linton looked up at Heathcliff. His eyes were bloodshot.
자네 말대로
As you said earlier, none of us are here to see each other's ugly mugs.
이곳을 왜
What other
다
reason could we
모였다고
possibly have to reconvene like this? That can't be real. What kind of insane... Oh... Heathcliff crash out. Yeah, I was like, I wonder why these guys are here. They're probably officiating the will, aren't they? Fixers of the Ufi. Hold on. I'm familiar enough with German to know how to pronounce that letter, but not, I'm getting thrown off by the U. If, because it's, well, because so that letter is pronounced like and the U is throwing me off. Ufi. I don't know. Who have remained silent throughout the entire commotion suddenly spoke up.
약속한 시간이 다
The promised
되었습니다.
hour has come. Mr. Hindley Earnshaw, a blood relative of the deceased,
고인 캐서린의
Mr.
남편이었다.
Linton Edgar, the spouse of the deceased,
마지막으로
and Mr. Heathcliff, an individual mentioned by name in the will.
히스클리프 씨.
Then who wrote the note on the invitation? I'm curious. Things are getting curiouser and curiouser.
집행을 시작할 조건이
Now that the three
충족되었습니다.
relevant parties are all present, we, as the executors of the deceased's will, may begin the ceremony.
이제 의뢰자
The first order of
캐서린의
business will be the
유언
execution of Miss Catherine's will.
시작하도록 하겠습니다. 우리는 캐서린님의 엄숙한 장례식에서
Thus commences the solemn occasion of Miss Catherine's funeral rites. As per the deceased's wishes, the will shall be read out loud here at Miss Catherine's manor, in the attendance of all those present. Then,
잠깐만.
no, you stop. Shut up for a second. Whose funeral rites? And what was that about her spouse? The man they called Linton rose from his seat in the first time since we arrived here. After you abandoned this place with nary a word to her, Catherine immediately turned to me.
우리는 부부였습니다.
Then we married. Every waking hour we spent together were filled with happiness and joy. We were happy to the very last day, to her very last breath. Oh man, no! He lived well! No! Oh, Heathcliff, no!
무례하지 마.
Shut your stupid gob. The moment I set foot in this manor, I heard her voice. I felt her presence. So what the bloody hell are you even talking about? I'm imagining this like the Hitman mission where you kill Margaret Thatcher. Maybe she just faked her own death.
이 개자식들이 작정하고 꾸민
This has to be some ploy. These fucking bastards. They must have. This can't. Heathcliff paused for a moment, struggling to find the words. This can't be how it ends. I won't believe a single shite coming out of your mouths until I see her body with my own eyes. Where is she? Bring her here now.
못 봐주겠군.
What a repulsive sight. The least you could have done was to show some proper respect for the dead, but I suppose even the bare minimum was too much to expect from someone like...
히스클리프,
I understand how you feel, Heathcliff, so please calm yourself and take a seat. Get your hands off me! You can't just decide for me that she's dead. I won't accept any of this, not until I see Kathy with my own.
경고합니다.
Warning. Should this interruption to the will reading continue, we may have to resort to the use of force to ensure the full execution of this will. Shut up! You don't know shite, so shut your fucking mouth! Heathcliff was gasping. The sheer momentousness of the emotion overwhelmed him. It looked as though he was about to lunge at everyone who even dared to get up close. Ah, sorry, I thought I heard something, so I had to pull out the shotgun. I don't have a shotgun, by the way. I can hardly tell whether it was sorrow or wrath that came over him. Heathcliff! Why don't you go have a look in the mirror yourself? What a pathetic mess you've become. Doesn't matter which posh garb plebs like you wrap yourselves in, that filth from your low birth seeps right through the fabric at the slightest provocation. You'll eventually see Catherine's corpse, all right. It's all part of the funeral process, so don't be in such a hurry to get there. Can't wait to see how well she's resting after what she's done to me.
힌들리님.
Mr. Hindley Earnshaw, Mr. Heathcliff, we order that both of you immediately return to your seats. This is your final warning.
관리자 나리.
Manager Esquire, we must do on fix the Ufi Association may even execute those involved should there be a breach of contract. I'll wish to see Sir Heathcliff be executed. I ill wish to see Sir Heathcliff be executed, nor do I wish to have the batter the honorable fixers of the Ufi Association. Agree with Don Quixote. There is no need for us to get involved in an unnecessary conflict, but I don't think Heathcliff's gonna listen to us. I don't even know if there's anyone who can talk Heathcliff down when he's that agitated. You have refused to comply. Oops. We had no choice but to watch as fixers of the Ufi Association struck Heathcliff with their weapons. He fell to his knees with a painful cry. Y.S. Do speak. Not you. Speak still, your intentions notwithstanding. You stop. All of you. Something's off about this whole thing. Would you like to speak for this individual? Was what she was going to say, but she decided to remain silent in favor of not getting in trouble. Right? Huh? What are you doing, BG? No, Gregor! No, Gregor! Please! They still have not learned his name. Ryoshu, I understand that seeing our fellow sinner get smacked around like that can be pretty aggravating, but once you get involved, peace will simply no longer be an option. Didn't know you cared so much about Heathcliff, Ryoshu. NC. Ryoshu flicked her cigarette indifferently as though she was no longer interested. No comment. You bastards. Fine, let's crack some skulls then, shall we? Heathcliff stumbled to his feet with the club in his hand, glaring at everyone that stood before him. I see that you are still refusing to comply despite our initial attempt. Should you refuse to let go of your weapon within the next minute, we will have no choice but to escalate our next steps. I couldn't care less about your steps. Give me Catherine or none of us are leaving this manor alive. You lot, me, we're all going 6 feet under. Heathcliff! Shut it, clockhead. This ain't the time to bring up shit like the company rules. Stay out of my way. I don't have anything to say. If someone that important to me died, I'd be blinded and deafened to all reason too. Hey, Heath, I understand how angry and frustrated you must be, but you can't... Shut your trap! All of you, don't you dare touch me unless you want your faces caved in too. It's nap time, Heathcliff. He got slumped. Whoa. Did she just knock him out cold with her bare hands? And it wasn't even a punch. It was just a light tap. His breathing is stable. It appears that she gave the nerve on the back of his head a precise, focused strike, which led to his loss of consciousness. What a flawless execution of that move. You can certainly say I've seen something like that before. Reminds me of my family's... Sir Heathcliff hath been defeated with a single fell strike. Every self-respecting butler has to be equipped with one such move. What other choice have we when we got the child fusses and fusses for 20 hours instead of going to sleep? Hongwu family lore drop? Canto 8 lore. Forsooth, I can say with quite the confidence that I can immediately slumber to the dreamlands upon tucking myself in bed. For truth. Though it was not by his own volition, we have confirmed that he is no longer in possession of a weapon and has been subdued. Knockout blows on babies? Meh. We will allow for a 10-minute recess to let things calm down for a moment, then we will proceed as planned. Excuse me, Lady Nellie? Lady Nellie? No need for such honorifics. Please just call me Nellie. The contractors that Mr. Linton Edgar brought, they once worked at this manor, right? Yes, indeed. Some butlers from the Earnshaws, like myself, followed Miss Catherine to Master Linton's. Of course, most of Master Linton's butlers are from his own Edgar family. So if he gives the order to attack us, then Lady Nellie would... Oh, pish-posh, ridiculous! I was a butler in direct service of Miss Catherine. Young Master Linton could plead and beg all he wants, but I won't always be taking his side. So, what exactly are the butlers? Butlers? Forsooth, I am quite well acquainted in this matter. They are house dogs on a tight leash, groveling before their masters. The most trustworthy and loyal people I've ever known, I'd say. Fixers bound to families. Nice. Gotcha. Some great help you fellows are. Well, I'm glad that I'm not the only one out of the loop for once. At least some of you know who we butlers are. It's a rather rare occupation, so not many people even know that we exist. Doesn't sound like most normal folk would have a reason to know anything about them. So their boss is the manor and not the person in charge of the manor. That's interesting. Unless they're in a position where they have no choice but to work at the rich folks' homes. Fuck you, Adobe Acrobat. Well, one of us is quite a passionate fan of fixers. Quite. Oh, I'm very pleased to know that our dear Heathcliff made some very intelligent friends. Lady Nelly, I promise thee that once I make my return to the bus, I shall have my hands on the butler figurine I had given up on acquiring. It shall stand tall and proud on the most frontmost row of my display shelf. Don Quixote is a figure collector? The head of the state still is their boss, but right now no one is in charge of the estate. Don Quixote's eyes were practically exploding with joy at having her fixer obsession positively acknowledged and accepted for once. You could call it a fixer fixation. Don Quixote is like a very understandable favorite. Allow me to explain. Butlers are fixers indeed, yet they are rather distinct from most fixers thou hast encountered thus far. A fixer oft refers to those who accept contracts as a part of an association or an official. Alas, there exists a distinction when it comes to butlers. Butlers join... No, don't worry about it. Forsooth, like any other fixers, butlers may be hired by a single person to serve them and them only as well. Do note that our service is not limited to combat. We also conduct household management and care as well. Must also be mentioned that proficiency in many fields is a necessity to be a respected butler. This is no easy occupation, mind you. Yet, from what I have learned, to hire butlers is to pay an inordinate amount of salary. Indeed, while butlers are always oh so busy, we are promised expensive compensation at every contract extension, with stable bonuses such as pensions. Many famous association fixers also retire to serve as butlers as well. I was once a butler in service of Miss Catherine's family, and was transferred to Master Linton Edgar's family to join their ranks when she married him. Still, after a rather peaceful mutual debate, we came to the conclusion that I would be assuming the position of the chief butler, leader of the butlers in that household. Gotcha. Totally peaceful. Sure really was one peaceful transfer of power. Oh, 'tis quite fascinating to imagine that even Sir Heathcliff once had been a tiny bairn. How was he as a youth? What a change in conversation topic. He was quite the special child. I do not believe that I would have become a chief butler had it not been for him. Hey, Heathcliff baby pics? Oh, what a lovely boy he was. Oh, lovely. Quite. Heathcliff chapter unique status has now been unlocked. Oh, he's like going crazy. Are you okay, Heathcliff? It's the classic Nelly technique, her secret technique to send us hurtling to the dreamlands. Been a while.
정말 미안해, 히스클리프.
I'm terribly sorry, Heathcliff. I was hoping to avoid having to use the sleepy smack on you, and not after a reunion like this.
정말
Is it true, Nellie?
캐서린이 죽.
Is Catherine really gone? Yes, and Miss Catherine wrote your name into her will. Her will, huh? We should at least give it a listen to hear why she mentioned Heathcliff. She gives everything to Heathcliff, just to spite everyone. So, was this manor Miss Catherine's? Well, it used to be young Master Hindley's once, then. Catherine, that shrew? Jesus Christ. He's sexist. She stabbed me in the back. Why don't you elaborate on the injustice, Linton? Share the tale of how Catherine and Linton Edgar stabbed me in the back. How the pair of you destroyed me. There was no injustice. It was done in perfectly legal manner. Bring the case to T-Corp courts if you wish. It will change absolutely nothing. If the association fixer carrying a piece of paper stepped in between Hindley and Linton as two men continued to growl at each other. The allotted recess has expired. We will now proceed with the inheritance bequeathment will reading. This is the will of the deceased. It has been verified via multiple tests and screenings that no counterfeiting or tampering of a similar nature has occurred. They're verifying that it's a counterfeit or not. Who verifies if they're not just straight up lying about it? Good question. Oh, it's Canto 6? Yes. Maybe it's just a standard industry practice? Miss Catherine has requested that this letter be read in audience of the 3 attendees before the bequeathment of personal property commences. I will now read the full contents of her will. At last, you are all gathered here. My only wish is that my words will be met with respect without hostility among you. I hope that none of you become incensed during this occasion. It's my one and only funeral, after all. I am at peace. There is no pain, no suffering where I am. So do not consider my death a tragic one, because by the time you are reading this, I must have reached my own heaven. This is not to say that you mustn't let sorrow into your hearts. Okay. So that I may feel your grief and know that you have all truly loved me. Wuthering Heights, an old and desolate manor. I have always been afraid of this place. Fear and nightmares would consume me every night. But now that I stand before the end of my life, I have come to accept this manor for what it is. This manor which I will leave... Okay, I didn't miss anything. To my husband, Linton Edgar. Keep this manor and remember me by its presence. I feel like she's gonna be like, and to Heathcliff, you could have this golden bow. What the fuck? Damn it! And to my brother Hindley, my one and only brother. Right, I knew I'd be in there somewhere. Hindley's legs began to shake nervously, so did his voice. I heard that you are mired in quite the heavy debt, and that you have been spending most of your days drinking and gambling. So I... Come on, Catherine, give me something. Anything. Signed you up for the Abyss Trauma Correctional Facility at M-Corp. If you don't visit the facility within 1 week after attending this will reading, they will come to take you in. She did an intervention from beyond the grave. No, that's absolute nonsense. How the hell am I even supposed to get to M-Corp in a week? Of course, I have already prepared a warp train ticket, huh? I know what happens in the warp trains. Of course, I've already prepared... I've already prepared a warp train ticket to M-Corp for you, so please don't worry about the travel fees. No! This is a load of shite! Should another instance of disturbance of the execution of this will occur, we will take forceful action without warning. How dare you, you plebs! And you, Heathcliff. Welcome home. Kathy, once the 7th strike of lightning falls upon this manor, my golden bow shall be yours? Huh? The mere mention of the golden bow suddenly intensified the sensation I felt earlier. I definitely sensed that the golden bow was located somewhere within this manor. But I already figured that the golden bow was somewhere in here. I've known that ever since we stepped foot into this manor. Is the thing... Heathcliff said when he stepped in, he knew Kathy was here. Was he sensing the golden bow? Yet I couldn't quite pinpoint its exact location because I will leave my golden bow to you, Heathcliff. The golden bow was her personal property? Not even her estates or her family's? Just her? Book Catherine haunts the narrative, so she might still be doing that in Limbus. 7th strike of lightning? What do you think that means? It's not a golden bow. What the bloody hell is that supposed to mean? What? There's more than one here. Dante, are you alright? There is a second golden bow in this manor. No, this isn't at all what it all depends on what kind of ticket she bought, doesn't it? She's not gonna buy the expensive ticket. Maybe she will. Come back, Kathy, please. Hear my voice just this once, Kathy. I'm serious. Oh, Nelly, this room is haunted. I saw a ghost. Again. This myth, Kathy. What did I say? I told you I would thrash that evil ghost and hang them to dry on the rack. I love how Nelly's just hanging out with like a fucking guitar case this entire time. Ghosts aren't real. She's such a big liar. I'm not lying. I'm sorry, children. Have you been waiting long? Dad, where's my violin? What about my X-Corp all-purpose wrench? Again, I'm sorry. I did not have the room for the violin or the wrench. What room? What's that? What's that dirty rag? Ew. I found this child lying alone in dying alone in the streets. He was without parents or a home. The boy would surely have died in a weather like this. Oh, hi, Heathcliff. So what? I don't want that gross, dirty kid living here. Yeah, I want my violin. Throw that thing out. What are you gawking at? Hindley, shut the fuck up. Papa, why was he all alone in the streets? Because there wasn't anyone to take care of him. Poor child. There are other children like him in the back streets. No parents or relatives to look after them. No homes to shelter them. Then, what does he have now? Well, Kathy, now that he's got us to look after him, and this place is his home. No, I don't want that ugly thing. So you're saying that you don't want to have him, right? All right. I'm looking respectfully. Wind's howling. I can hear something wailing, its cries echoing through the manor halls. I hear it too, miss. Close the windows. There's a nip in the air outside. Do you remember still? As a child, you were terribly afraid of these howling winds. That you're seeing ghosts. Nellie, I see them still. Miss, you've grown far too weak ever since Heathcliff departed the manor. That's why you were seeing things. That is all right, Nellie. I no longer fear the ghosts, because all fear stems from the ignorance of its origin. Where do you suppose he is? Heathcliff. Miss, he doesn't have anything left. I'm everything he has. Now he has other stuff now. I don't think I have enough time left. I think we can do one more, and then I have to get off. What just happened? Everything went dark for a sec. I think the lightning caused a brief power outage. The power's back now, though. What we just saw were Catherine's memories, right? I think so. It has been in the past such occurrences can be attributed to the influence of the Golden Bough. Hold on, this is the corridor we walked through earlier, isn't it? This isn't where we were before the power outage. I don't see Hindley or Linton anywhere either. Oh my word, what just happened? But we didn't, like, take a step or anything, did we? I do not believe that any of our fellows have moved. If we are all standing still, then I suppose this means that it's the house that moved. It's the house that is wrong. Know anything about this, Nellie? I haven't the slightest idea. I've been away from this manor for many years myself. I seldom had any reason to return ever since Miss Catherine married Master Linton and left this place to live with him. Oh. Just like the butlers. Catherine, the deceased. Didn't someone mention that she had purchased this manor, Wuthering Heights? Yes, indeed, but she did not immediately move here after the purchase. Oh, now that you mention it, I see that some changes have been made to this manor since I was gone. Nellie was probably referring to the numerous exposed cables, holes, and cracks that seem to have been painted over. Had I been the butler of this manor, I would not have let such slovenliness slide. But maybe she was trying to make modifications to the manor? Is that blood? There's very clearly blood and drag marks going into this door. Honglu, please open the door. Is it normal for rich folks just to buy a whole manor and modify it to their liking? I'd say it's kind of like changing your hairstyle once in a while.
계속 같은 머리로만
Maintaining the
있으면
exact same style of hair for
지겨워지니까요.
too long gets pretty boring, you know?
아하.
Uh-huh. So that's how casual full-on house remodeling is for rich folks? I see. How nostalgic.
히스클리프,
Heathcliff,
너한테
I hardly know what to tell you. I don't know what these words could possibly... What words could possibly comfort you now.
캐서린 아가씨의
But what
죽음을
you said about Miss
믿지
Catherine's
않는다는
death, and how you didn't believe that she was truly dead? What?
그 말을 듣고 나도
I
다시
gave that idea some
생각해봤는데
thought.
어느 정도는
I
동의해.
agree, to an extent.
뭐?
What? Heathcliff's pupils suddenly dilated.
나도
Even I haven't seen Miss Catherine's body.
아가씨가
I was so beside myself when Master Linton told me of Miss Catherine's passing that I did not even care to verify it with my own eyes.
네가 하려는 말은 그러니까
So what you're trying to say here is it really what I think it is? You're saying that Kathy might still be alive?
혹시나 하는 거야.
Nothing but a suspicion at this point. Besides, you know how Miss Catherine can be.
고집이라면
Stubborn as a mule, sometimes doing things so unexpected that they're almost frightening.
하지만 사실 이
Honestly, I even wondered if this whole funeral business was but an awful elaborate jest from the miss.
그래도 확실한 건
What's certain is, however, that the will was undeniably in her own handwriting.
그리고 린튼 주인님은
The Master Linton, he
캐서린 아가씨가
never once
돌아가신
stopped
이후로
making modifications to the manor,
이 저택의 개조를
even
멈췄어.
after Miss Catherine passed. Bastard Linton made these modifications to the manor? Yes, I haven't gotten a good look at this place, nor did I personally ask him of his motives, but
적어도
it is quite evident that something is to transpire here, isn't it? Or that
일어났다는 건
something had already happened? Bollocks. I don't understand any of this. Maybe Linton was like, I hate you. You keep talking to me about this guy Heathcliff. I'm so upset. Why won't you love me? And she's like, so true. But anyway, about Heathcliff. And then he's like, I'm going to turn this into the Winchester house and kill you in order to kill this Heathcliff guy.
유언장에 적힌
What do you think the lightning in her will is talking about?
말 그대로 벼락이 여러
Maybe
번
she meant
쏘는
it
걸
literally.
이유로는 아니야.
7 lightning strikes.
언제?
Are you suggesting that she knew we would arrive precisely under this weather on the day of her funeral?
그런 걸 조건으로 적을 순 없을 거다.
In this part of the world? At this time of year? Located entirely within your kitchen? Why, yes! Who knows? I don't even understand what Miss Catherine was trying to do here with that will.
맞아.
Right, we can't ever know the will of the dead. Oh,
아니면 캐서린 아가씨의 방을 찾는 게 어떨까요?
perhaps there's something, a clue to be found in Miss Catherine's room?
아가씨는 결혼하신
She
후에도
did visit Wuthering Heights from time to time,
보냈을까요?
even after her marriage to Master Linton.
너도 기억나지
Don't you
않을까요?
remember, Heathcliff?
캐서린
Miss
아가씨는
Catherine. Yeah, she always liked riddles.
반면에 너는 머리
Not like you,
쓰는
preferred a more
다
direct
부숴보려고
approach,
했고.
which involved smashing everything to pieces.
나중엔 무지 혼났어.
Got me in plenty of trouble for trying to brute force problems without even trying to think about the intent. A faint smile appeared on Heathcliff's face as he seemed to recall a fond memory. I don't know if I've gotten any better at it since. But the heavy, somber expression soon returned. I guess our next order of things is to find where that room is. Well, and that's the end of the level. Okay, I will try to make a longer stream next week because I wanted to do a long stream this week because I had to delay it by a day. But I do have a hard cutoff at 1 a.m. So, yeah, at least we got through a bunch of story. So I'm gonna say we stop here. Yeah, 48. Let's see, how many tickets can I get? I can get him pretty far. Congrats, my guy. I need 20 more. I need 20 more or 12 more thread. All right, who am I kicking? Oh, we can watch the cutscene as well.
평가의 순간이 궁금했어. 이리 와 보시게. 볼 만한 것들을 몇 개 짚어드리지.
The nature of art is what shatters like diffuse reflections of radiance upon the regular surfaces of fragmented mirror shards. It is labyrinthine, unpredictable, completely devoid of any plainly coherent pattern, and unfathomably beautiful. I like how there's like this picture of the wing, and it's like sort of like framed so that it's like coming out of his back. Because anything can be painted, and any sense of imagination brought forth to reality. Even things beyond our ken may be conceived and be used as inspiration through the lens of art created by others. Oh yeah. Why do they have like evil red eyes? Thus, choosing the ring in the path of art was a decision most wise. Perhaps my life itself has been a living artistry from its incipience. My interests are as diverse as the 7 colors of the light spectrum, fanning and radiating in all directions like shattering rays of diffuse reflection upon an irregular surface. This he's saying is using a lot bigger words than usual. Yet the life of fixation with a single subject, technology, sitting in conferences and after conferences of mediocre, predictable discoveries, that was never the kind of life I deserved. Thus it was by great fortune that the pointillists approached me and thought to offer me a place among their ranks. A universe of infinity held within a singular dot. Thus a collection of dots, a collection of infinities does it become. A concentration of dots, a concentration of universes. Then birthed anew, whatever. Jesus Christ. Graceful title of Student of the Ring gave me fabricated wings of freedom and unbound my potential. What laughably, Jesus Christ. Ring Yi sang use big thesaurus words or draw 25. My wings were there all along, only waiting to be painted into existence by my pans. How regrettable they are, the days I have wasted in utter inanity. Thus wielding my poems of my great brush, a tool with which I shall mold and transform my past. The pointless past is burned as a sacrifice for art. What was once perceived to be of no worth is molded into beauty in an instant. I am but a student of the ring, yet, should I trace the steps of the maestros who have created countless masterpieces, my very own skills shall grow to its apex. Year-long. My heart is now lightened. I should be able to participate in this assignment evaluation with a mind unburdened. It takes little time before I find myself at the evaluation site. A group of people stand uneasily among various revolting artwork that inspire nothing but utter confusion. They plead and plead, knocking fervently at my heart so that their voices may be heard, yet, to my ears, they are merely inaudible murmurs, nothing more than bothersome noise. Maestros meaning the big cheese. Ah, an aromatic chunk of cheese. But they each receive a failing grade nonetheless. It is all pointless, yet, indeed, the lack of meaning signifies not the lack of answers. I gather terrified civilians, inform them that I now shall bequeath upon them a holistic critique of their works. Indeed, a critique of this collaborative effort. Of course, each of their work is a result of individual effort, yet, should their work be assisted by my artistic eye, unripe as it is, then it shall make for quite the excellent collaborative piece of art. Some of their faces contoured with a clear look of bewilderment. A moment of utter ideality. A universally shared look of shock would have been so plain. And with such joy, such delight. What the fuck? Is he like painting on glass with blood here? I don't understand. This, yeah, it's maybe not clear. Oh, he killed someone. Explosive splashes of red paint. Shook, fear, panic, and desperation. I pulled so many final sentiments as they dropped to the cold floor in all of its... Yeah. My heart swells with this excellent presentation. They've all prepared for me such a beautiful collaborate effort where even I, as a mere spectator, was allowed to partake in its beauty. How could I give them anything else but a review most glowing? Thus I rate this artwork A+. The big cheese. All right, I have to open Twitch and see if there's anyone online. Nope. All right. All right, this team is looking much better. Oh, I do have enough. Oh, let's quickly. I have 1 minute left. I have not done my polls this week. I did not get it. Okay. I did not want you, but thank you for showing up in a sombrero, Sinclair. Good night, everyone.